Okay, so let's talk about that moment. The paycheck lands, and for maybe 30 seconds, everything feels okay.
Right. Financial peace,
Yeah.
brief, but it's there.
And then, boom, the auto pays start firing, life, just happens, and suddenly you're staring at your balance thinking, where did it all go?
Yeah, it's like water through a sieve. That
Yeah.
feeling is, well, it's incredibly common.
Painfully common.
And our sources for this deep dive really dug into this, what they're calling the paycheck trap. And look, the numbers are kind of shocking.
Get this.
Nearly half of Americans, and we're talking even people earning decent money, like $70,000, even up to $100,000 a year,
Mm.
they don't have $500 set aside for a real emergency.
Wow. Okay, that statistic, it just stops you in your tracks, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because it screams that the problem isn't just income. We're always told, oh, just earn more or, be more disciplined.
Right, the standard advice.
But clearly, if people making good money, 6 figures even, are disciplined enough to earn that much but still feel trapped, then the system's broken, not the income level itself.
Exactly. You nailed the analogy there. Income, that's the fuel. But the system, that's the engine, that's the architecture, deciding where the fuel actually
That
goes.
whole tank doesn't help if the engine's sputtering, right?
Precisely. And the core idea, the big shift we found in the material, is this complete system reframe. People who are actually hitting financial goals, like, say, building up that crucial $10,000 savings buffer.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily get a huge raise. They changed one fundamental rule. Just one.
Okay, I'm hooked. What's the rule?
They stopped trying to save after everything else happened. After the bills, after the groceries, after a life.
The leftovers, basically. Trying to save the scraps.
Exactly. Instead, they started saving before any of that. First priority. That shift from just reacting, surviving, to being proactive, having structure. That's the whole game changer.
Okay, let's unpack that. This core strategy, our sources call it reverse budgeting. Sounds simple, but how does making savings like non-negotiable actually work day to day?
Well, reverse budgeting means you treat your savings like rent or your mortgage payment. It's automatic. It's fixed. It's the first thing out.
Okay.
You decide up front, this is how much I'm committing to growth before you even figure out your spending money. You basically force yourself to live on what's left.
Okay.
Nothing.
So you're directing your expenses instead of your expenses directing you.
You got it. It flips the script entirely.
And there's proof this actually works, right? That structure matters more than just a big salary. I'm thinking about Daniel, the part-time grocery clerk.
Yeah, Daniel's story is powerful. He definitely wasn't pulling down a massive salary, working weekends, school nights, just trying to make ends meet.
Right.
And he committed to something small, just transferring $25 automatically every single time his paycheck landed. $25?
Doesn't sound like much.
It doesn't. But here's the thing. Consistency. 2 years later, he checks that savings account. He's got $9,412 sitting there.
Wow. Just from $25 a pop?
He didn't get a big promotion. He didn't win the lottery. He just built a system. That shows structure beats salary, hands down.
Okay, that's compelling evidence, structure over salary. But here's the challenge, isn't it? How do you make that system stick? Because discipline, runs out.
It absolutely does. Willpower fades, you get tired, stressed, life gets busy.
Exactly. You forget or you just don't feel like doing the transfer.
Which leads us straight to the next crucial piece, automation. It has to be automated. You can't rely on remembering to do it manually on the 1st or the 15th.
No chance.
We need systems that just run, especially when we're exhausted or distracted.
Yeah.
So the foundation, step 1 really, is setting up that automatic transfer to happen the instant the paycheck hits your account.
The timing is key then, before you even see it almost.
Precisely. That's the psychological trick, I think. You don't really see the savings money in your main account, so you don't feel like you're missing it. You just immediately adapt to living on the slightly smaller amount that's left.
Okay, that makes sense. But where should that automated transfer be sending the money to get the most out of it?
Right. Good question. It needs to split right away. 2 distinct flows.
Yeah.
One part for living expenses, the other part dedicated to growth.
Growth. Ooh.
And that growth account needs to be doing some work for you, even if it's small. You want it in a high-yield savings account, an HYSA, even if rates are just, say, 3 or 4% right now.
It's better than nothing.
Way better. It lets your savings earn their own tiny little salary while you're sleeping, compounding quietly.
Okay. HYSA for the growth portion. Now, I want to push back a little here because one recommendation from the sources seemed maybe counterintuitive. They suggest using a totally different bank for your savings than your everyday checking account.
Yeah, yes. The separation principle.
Doesn't that just add hassle? Like, another app to manage, another login. Aren't we aiming for simplicity here?
It does add a little friction, you're right. But that friction, it's intentional. It's the whole point.
How so?
Think about it. If your savings buffer, say $500, is sitting right there in the same bank app as your checking,
Yeah.
it takes maybe 3 seconds to zap that money back over to cover an unexpected bill. Or let's be honest, sometimes an impulse buy.
Guilty. Okay.
But if that savings is parked at a completely different bank, now you've got to log into a separate app, maybe verify your identity, wait a day, maybe 2, for the ACH transfer to clear.
Oh, okay. It slows you down.
Exactly. That little bit of lag time, that cooling off period, is the safeguard. It protects your savings from, well, from you in a moment of weakness or panic.
Right.
It's preservation, not punishment.
Okay, I get it now. Building a little moat around the savings. Makes sense.
Yep.
So we've got the architecture, automated transfers, separate accounts, HYSA for growth. But automation's just the plumbing, right? We also need a smart strategy. And this is where I think people get tripped up. They start agonizing over, like, the $5 latte.
Oh, yeah, the classic trap, trying to squeeze savings out of tiny everyday things.
When really they should be looking at the $1,000 decision.
That's exactly right. You're not going to hit a $10,000 savings goal by skipping coffee. Maybe you save a few $100 a year that way, tops.
Right.
You get there by focusing on what the sources call the big rocks, the really hefty monthly expenses. Housing, transportation, maybe your main food budget. You look for choices there that save thousands a year, not just hundreds.
Okay, big rocks. But give us a real-world example, because things like rent or car payments, they feel kind of fixed, don't they? People feel stuck.
They often do feel fixed, but sometimes it just takes a strategic look. Take Carla's story from the research. Single mom felt completely squeezed by her budget month after month. Instead of cutting out every little joy, she zeroed in on her biggest expense, rent. She found a place just 10 minutes further out, importantly, same school district for her kid, maybe a slightly smaller place, but it dropped her rent by $300 every single month.
Wow, $300 a month is huge.
It's massive. And that was just the start. That got her thinking strategically. She then arranged a carpool with a neighbor for their commutes, saved another $100 a month on gas, wear and tear.
Smart.
And then she made a conscious decision to commit to cooking more meals at home, planning them out. Saved probably another $70 a month compared to frequent takeout or eating out.
Okay, let's add that up. $300 on rent, $100 on transport, $70 on food. That's $483 a month.
Exactly. $470 into every month, flowing right into her automated savings system.
That's, wait, over a year? That's $5,640?
Yep. It's like giving yourself a massive tax-free raise, and she did it purely through smart trade-offs on the big stuff.
She made a few strategic $500 a month choices instead of trying to police like 100 tiny $5 choices that just lead to feeling deprived and burning out.
That's the core difference, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's strategic design versus extreme, unsustainable frugality. When you optimize the big things in your environment, saving stops feeling like a constant sacrifice. It starts feeling like, empowerment, financial control.
Okay, so we've got the structure automated. We've got the strategy focused on big rocks. Now, what about momentum, acceleration? That often feels like the missing piece.
Yeah, good point.
Once the system's running smoothly, how do you feed it more money without, like, taking on some crazy, stressful side hustle that burns you out? This is about steady progress, right? Consistent momentum.
It is, and it's often about finding small levers you can pull consistently, not necessarily huge, disruptive changes.
Yeah.
We saw this with Renee. She was a warehouse clerk.
Okay.
She didn't quit her job to launch a startup or anything dramatic. She just started saying yes more often. A few extra hours on a Friday here and there, maybe picking up one weekend shift every other month.
Stuff that fit within her existing life, basically.
Exactly. Quiet, consistent additions. And those small boosts, they fed her automated savings system an extra $2,500 over just 6 months.
Wow. That adds up fast.
It does. It's about being deliberate with your time, deciding, okay, this extra time block, it's going directly into the savings engine, not just into, random spending.
Right. Converting time directly into automated savings, not just a temporary cash bump that disappears.
Precisely. And it's not just time. Think about space, too. One interesting point from the research was that the average American home has something like $3,000 worth of just idle stuff.
Idle stuff? Like what?
Forgotten gadgets in drawers, old furniture in the garage, clothes you never wear, exercise equipment gathering dust, things basically in storage inside your living space.
Oh, okay. Guilty again.
Selling that stuff turns clutter directly into capital. Renee actually did some of this too. And she also converted small skills things she could do easily, like babysitting for neighbors or pet sitting, into maybe $150 extra cash most months.
$150 a month, that's not insignificant. Over a year, that's $1,800.
Exactly. And it feeds right back into that automated system we built earlier. It scales up the timeline, gets you to the goal faster. It's not about trading your soul for money. It's just about trading a bit of unused time or unused stuff for directed purpose.
Yeah, it changes the whole feeling, doesn't it? You're not just reacting and surviving anymore. You're actively directing resources.
You are.
Yeah.
But all this great structure, this strategy, this momentum,
Mm,
it kind of needs a destination, right? Otherwise, it can just drift aimlessly.
good point.
Which brings us to the final piece, commitment. And commitment, in this context, really needs a clear deadline.
Ah, the power of the deadline. Okay. Why is having a specific finish line, a date on the calendar, so critical for a financial goal like saving $10,000?
Because deadlines create urgency,
Mm-hmm.
and urgency creates focus. Without a specific end date, a goal is really just, well, it's a wish. It's fuzzy.
Someday I'll save $10,000.
Exactly, which usually means never. We saw this with Andre, a night shift security guard in one of the case studies. He wanted to hit that $10 K mark. He didn't just say, I'll try to save more this year. No, he got specific. He set a deadline, hit $10,000 before his 30th birthday. That gave him 28 months.
Okay, so he had a time frame.
And then he did the math. To hit $10 K in 28 months, he needed to save exactly $357 each and every month. It became concrete, actionable.
So he wasn't just trying anymore. He was actively tracking against a specific number and a specific date.
Precisely. He even visualized it. He had like a progress bar he updated, watching it shift from gray to green month by month. Seeing that visible proof, even when progress felt slow, that it was still progress. That's huge psychologically.
Yeah, it keeps you motivated. Turns it from stress into more like a manageable countdown.
It really does. And guess what? Andre actually finished early. He beat his deadline.
Nice.
And when they asked him about the payoff, the feeling, he said it wasn't even just about the money itself. It was the sense of relief, the feeling of, and I quote, owning time again.
Owning time again. I like that.
That $10,000 wasn't just cash. It was proof. Proof of control, mastery over his financial situation.
Okay, so if we pull all these threads together now, Daniel's structure, Carla's big rock strategy, Renee's consistent momentum, Andre's deadline-driven commitment, what's the big final takeaway for you listening right now?
I think the synthesis is crystal clear. You don't build lasting wealth through sheer willpower. That burns out. You build it with intentional design. You build a system.
Right.
Every single automatic transfer you set up, that's active discipline you've successfully outsourced to a system that doesn't get tired or forget. It just works.
And that $10,000 goal we've been talking about, it's not really the end game, is it?
Not at all. It's the proof of concept. It's the training ground. Because here's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
The exact same system, the reverse budgeting, the automation, the big rocks focus, the consistency, the deadline, the principles that get you to your first $10,000, they scale.
Ah.
That same system can get you to $100,000 and beyond. The core principles don't change at all. Only the zeros on the end change.
Once you prove to yourself you can design a system to control $10,000, that fear, that feeling of being trapped by money, it starts to dissolve, doesn't it?
It really does. You stop just reacting to bills and debt. You start actively designing your financial future.
So, okay, here's the challenge we want to leave you with today. Set your $10 K date right now.
Don't
Figure out the time frame, do the math like Andre did. How much per month does that take? And then make that date real. Make it visible.
Yeah, put it on your phone's lock screen. Write it in big letters in your planner. Stick it on your bathroom mirror, wherever you'll see it every day.
Make it a non-negotiable reality you're tracking towards. Don't wait for the perfect moment or for that big raise you hope is coming. Start the clock now.
Because remember, a dream without a deadline, that's just stress in disguise. It hangs over you. But a goal with a deadline, that becomes freedom in motion.
Freedom in motion. I like that.
And once you truly realize deep down that you can design your financial life instead of just reacting to it, that's when the fear disappears. That's when you stop just surviving paycheck to paycheck and you actually start designing the life you want. That ultimately is the real freedom.